guys, and welcome to another episode of Expat Van Life with me, Jimmy Renz. So you can see here today, we're not quite living the van life at the moment. If you've been following any of my other social channels, you'll know that we are no longer living in the van. It's been like that for a while now. You can see here, I'm standing down here below this beautiful chestnut tree. I got one here. I got another chestnut tree over here behind me. I wanted to introduce you guys today to our new property, our new place. If you've been following the channel for a while, you know my videos haven't been very consistent, and I've been in and out of a few different things. We had a block of land out in Damyang, Jeollanam-do, South Korea. Block of land next to the reservoir, if you remember. Did quite a lot of videos out there last year, lots of rocks and stuff, but it just didn't work out. Like, there was just too many rocks, the soil wasn't good, a lot of people just coming by, and then G-Hair actually broke out with the hives and stuff, so we didn't know what it was, but it was obviously something. Either the dogs, when we were traveling, living with the dogs in the camping car, it just got a little bit too much for us. So last July 2023 in Damyang, in our land, G-Hair broke out in a lot of hives, and we tried to stay there as long as we could. The mosquitoes got really bad as well. Something made her really sick. She didn't go to the doctor because, you know, we like to work on these things naturally and try and figure it out ourselves what it is. But whatever it was, when she was driving with the dogs on her lap, she broke out in hives everywhere, especially where the clothes was touching her skin. If it had a pattern on it, the pattern would break out in hives on her skin. So we definitely didn't think it was good to be living that lifestyle anymore. We went back to G-Hair's mother's place, and I eventually got a job teaching English in a private academy out there for 6 months. It was only meant to be short term, it was meant to be 4 months, and it ended up being 6 months. And we were looking for somewhere different that we could settle down and get a house, because obviously the van life wasn't meant for us with 6 dogs and G-Hair. So we were looking for a property with a house, maybe somewhere we could do a business, like run a dog kennel, dog sitting and stuff like that, maybe run an Airbnb. And we came across this property, which probably would never have come up before if we didn't think outside the box. But it's an old plum orchard, hasn't been maintained for the last 2 or 3 years. A lot of the leaves and plants, they're not doing great this year. They haven't been maintained, but it's 2.5 acres. It's got about 100 live trees on it, plenty of dead trees if you look around, plenty of dead trees. But it's got a huge potential, and we've been following a lot of, you know, permaculture and food forest kind of people on YouTube and on Instagram and whatnot. So we really want to get in here, do it the organic way, and see how we can turn this orchard around, make some really delicious plums, and just show everybody that you can grow organically. All the people around here, all the village people say, oh, you're not going to grow anything there, or organic's not good. You do organic if you don't want to make any money. But have a look at these plums that we got on here. Look at these plums we got. We got plenty of plums. We had a lot of rain last night. Some of the plums probably fell off, but these are generally looking all right. So let's go for a bit of a tour around our orchard. So starting down here in the bottom, this is the very bottom of our property. This is the fence line here. This dead tree is actually on the neighbour's fence line in their property. So technically that's not ours, but it would have been at one point, would have been our tree, but it was dead. Like I said, there's about 20 dead trees on this property, and then our fence line actually goes up here, and it goes, that tree is also in the neighbour's property, but this part of the tree is on our land, so we're going to treat it like ours. I got to come through. This is pretty much bare bones what it's been. I haven't really done much work down here in this part of the orchard. I've come down and I trimmed up a few of the trees, tried to clean them out in the middle, you know, let the open center come through. This one here, I've trimmed it. I might throw up some before and after pictures. Like, these neighbours had been running it for the last 7 years, but the last 2 or 3 years they pretty much haven't had the time due to health reasons and whatnot. And now only the son lives here, and he works 5 days a week. So he never had time really to come over and trim them up, but you can just see the vines and the weeds just all growing through it. We got a couple of these are all different types of plums. We're not 100% sure which is which, but you can see the red plums up here a bit further on. We got this tree in the corner here. This is a meshel, or Korean green plum, which is actually closer related to the apricot. So that's this main one here, and you can see the green plums are in abundance on this tree. Probably got a lot, came off last night in the rain and the wind. These ones haven't really been pruned. I pruned a little bit back when we first got here, but I really need to come through. There's just so much to do for the two of us. I'm the one that's mainly out here doing the plants, and then we got these other plants here. This is a durup tree, or a Korean angelica tree. It can also be called Chinese and Japanese angelica tree. We actually eat the shoots that come out of them, and these are pretty much due to be cut down to the ground, then the shoots will grow back, and next year we can harvest again. We've got some more popping up here. This is a great crop, and it's worth a good amount of money too. So we got plenty of plum trees down here. I think we got, in this section, we got 14 live plum trees. You can see I've trimmed up a lot of these trees here. These ones here were really, this one here was really high and just growing out of control. Still got a lot of pruning to do, but I'm going to leave them probably to the summer pruning or next winter pruning. And then coming over here, we can see some other plants that we got. Like I said, we got chestnut tree, and then underneath the chestnut tree we've got some, we call it dungale. I think it's bellflower root. We make tea with it, and you can also consume the leaves and stuff, I believe. This is the neighbors. They planted this in here, and we're happy for them to come and harvest it this year. But after this year, this land is all ours. We're going to put a fence up and stuff. But we're happy for them to come and harvest here. They had got another crop of something else over there. But these are our apple trees. We got 2 healthy apple trees. They've been pruned like plum trees, so they're not ideal. And if you see this photo here from before, there was no way that these were ever going to produce any apples this year. So I'll be happy to see an apple, but I'm just happy to see them growing and doing well this year. So we got 2 apple trees that have survived. It's nice to have a couple of different trees. So we got chestnuts. I was standing under the chestnut before, and then we got these persimmon trees here. Not yet in fruiting, but they will be soon. Chestnuts, plenty of the old chestnuts on the ground. You can see plenty of old chestnuts. Some got harvested, some haven't, so definitely looking forward to the chestnut season in the autumn. One of my favourite nuts. We'll go up here and have a look under here. So this is we've got this large leaf plant. Oh, this one here as well. This is a chinamol. This is similar to like a spinach, a mountain spinach. We can harvest that one. This one we can harvest. We're currently eating this one as a side dish with dinner. We call that one maui in Korean. It's similar. It's the type of butterbur in English. And here's some more of those Korean green plums I was telling you about. Lots of them around the garden. This one here's a mogwa, which is it's a Chinese quince. It's very similar to the quince that we know in our Western countries. But we'll be happy to try these ones when they're fruiting. And you can see the old fruit on the ground here that never got harvested over the last couple of years. As we come around here, a couple of more plum trees. And then here's the Korean angelica tree that I showed you down the back. This is our big area here. We come through here and harvested a lot of durup out of here. We pulled out a couple of kilograms and we sold some on the market. We got them probably 20 Australian dollars per kilo, which is pretty good. Anyway, I think the season's finished on these, so we have to come through and we're going to cut these down to about knee height. So come in here and probably cut above this one, and then they will grow up enough for next year that when we come to harvest next year, we can just take the tops off. So this here is what we're harvesting, this bit here. See, it's starting to get a little bit spiky. This one would be all right to eat now, but some of these big ones, it's too far gone. So it's the first couple of shoots of the season that are the most delicate and delicious. Like this one here is probably not too bad. You can see the thorns are starting to come on there. If you go back, I think I had a video last year when we were in Dumyung in the land, and we used to go for hikes up the mountain and harvest the durup, all these Korean angelica shoots, or fatsia shoots. Got so many different names in English. In Korean we just call it durup. A couple of more plum trees here. Nothing too exciting with these plum trees down here at the moment. I think we've got some more green plums growing up down there. Well, this is the dredgy gumjar, the Jerusalem artichoke, and then through here we got a little bit of bracken fern, or we call it gosari. We had a couple of shoots we picked up this morning out of here. GS come along here. All these sticks you can see here, these are actually pumpkins. He's planted some pumpkins in here, one here, one there, one in here. This is the... Oh, sorry, my camera's listening to me and making silly noises. This is the bracken fern, or we call it gosari, but it's the shoots, the baby shoots that we're interested in. Here's the hong jaru, or the red plum. You can see the fruit coming on here. So these are more of an ornamental. They come out with a beautiful pink flower. It's one of the first flowers in our orchard. And people don't generally eat these, but the lady that used to run this orchard said that these plums are actually really, really sweet, the way that she grew them organically. So that's what we're hoping. We hope that we get a nice harvest off these. These will be our first harvest this year on these. We don't do any fruit thinning here because we don't do any of the artificial pollination, which the other farmers around here do. So we're hopefully going to get some nice tasting fruit. Oh, I almost missed it. We've got one patch here, we got another patch here, another patch here. I don't know the name in English. We just harvest these big, we've harvested a few times here, but we harvest these off and then we eat these shoots that are coming out of here. So as you can see here, all these weeds that are coming up, that's the Jerusalem artichoke. It's just everywhere in this land. So Jerusalem artichoke, you can harvest it from October to March. So after the plums are done in the mid-July, mid-July is probably the last plum harvest we do. Then we got a couple months break, and then it will be into the Jerusalem artichoke harvesting. When I moved here last month, I came through and I dug up all here. I actually dug up over there and I harvested all the dredgy gumjar I could find, or the Jerusalem artichoke. If you're new to my video, guys, I'm sorry. I live in South Korea. I'm always using Korean in my videos. I will always put up subtitles for what it is in English if I speak too much in Korean, but I think it's a great way for you guys to also learn some Korean when it comes out in my natural speaking. So this is the Jerusalem artichoke here, and this is the bottom of our property, the mulberry tree there, and we got three plum trees down there, and there's one over there in the corner, and that is the back left hand side of our property. More Jerusalem artichokes through here. Looks amazing. Not worried about any snakes at the moment because it rained last night, but I have seen a few little snakes around. Nothing too harmful. And so that's the last tree there, that little one there on the corner. So that's our boundary. Whoa. And this one here, this is dolnamu. No idea what it is in English. It's pretty much a salad. You just put it, wash it off. It's really got no flavor. It's all about what you dress it up with. Mother-in-law makes a great salad with it. I think it's mildly salty, but these ground covers are great. Like, we're just trying to utilize what's already here in this land. So the Jerusalem artichokes, the ground covers that we got, salads, and we got all the different mountain spring greens that come through, the durup and all that. So I'll take you over now to the other side and where we work on our vegetable garden, and then last but not least I'll take you up to our house and have a look at that garden. So our border is along here where all these vines are growing on these rocks. Persimmon tree, plum tree in the corner, dead tree, another plum tree. Get some nice morels under this tree here in the early spring. That's our land, not really doing much with that at the moment. Persimmon trees there, and another mulberry tree there, which is also ours. And then there used to be 2 rows of 10 trees in here. They almost got diseased or died. They wanted to cut them down, so they came through and they chopped all these trees down long before we moved in. This warehouse is ours. It's currently occupied by the neighbour and the people who used to run our orchard, and they've got all the dried Jerusalem artichoke chips. Just checking he's not home at the moment. Hate to come in here and bother him. And they got all these plum juice extracts or something in here that they're waiting. They got to age them, and then they got to find a company, a factory around here that can bottle them up. And once they bottle them up, they'll be moving on out, and then we can finally use our warehouse for our practices. Let's just take a moment to ponder what hard work these people will have to go through to clean it up for us. Moving on, let's go. Beautiful peonies over here. So all this is ours. Warehouse is ours, the house is not ours. So this is our groundwater, our bore water, our well water, whatever you want to call it, water where you come from. This is it. It's currently leaking, and then that big tub's also leaking. So we really want to get in here and fix this, but it's really hard to do that with all this stuff in here at the moment. We don't know what's ours in here and what's not. The whippersnipper is ours, and I already took the chainsaw out of here, but who knows what all this stuff is and whose it is. This thing, I'd like to know what's under that tub. There's a sprayer over here that I would like to use at one point to spray my crops with fertilizers and stuff, but I've got no idea if it works. I've got no idea in when we're going to get that out of there. So pretty much from here, this is not our land. This is our land. I think that tree's our land, but that building and the house is not on our land. So this is pretty much our border. We got Gajuk Namor, got no idea in English. We also eat the stems, shoots of that one. It's not delicious. I don't recommend it, but some people love it. Omnamu here as well. This all got these big thorns on it. You can eat the shoots that come out the side of here. There's some comfrey down there, but we moved that. Some more mulgwa or Chinese quince. Peony. The dead jujube tree. Big peony there. Nice, beautiful pink just came out. These are the techunamu, or the Chinese date, or the jujube tree as we call them back in Australia. A couple of these here. A couple of white roses, I think. I don't think they're anything fancy. Maybe more dungdarup. Bangkong namur. Hopefully I pronounced that right. That's another salady type thing we can cook up and eat it. Dungdarup there. We could walk up through there, but pretty much not going to see much other than all these plum trees. More plums. So these plum trees on this side are good. This is another dechunamu or a jujube tree. I've heard Americans pronounce it jujube, but I'm not too sure where that comes from. Here's our fig tree. This here definitely gave it a good pruning when I moved in. All the shoots were off the side of it. Got some nice fruit on here. And then we got some more Korean Angelica tree or Durup over here. These ones were all cut back. All these trees that you can see that have been cut back over here were cut back by this farmer on this side, this orchard, because they were obstructing the sunlight getting on his plants out here. So he came through and he cut back all our trees, including these. So we didn't get to harvest these this year, but next year we'll be able to harvest these and they'll be delicious. Good crops. More Jerusalem artichoke growing over here. This is the very side of our property, the edge. This is the driveway to the neighbour's house. These are date plums. These are a type of persimmon. These are a date plum. They pretty much, you just dry them up. They become like dried dates. Use them as a sweetener alternative to sugar or dates, or you know, that kind of thing. There'll be more at the end of the year harvest, probably autumn harvest, and then you dry them out. Not leaving them on the trees this year. You can see the seeds in there. Hopefully they shoot up and more come out and we can transplant them out and start teaching people about these amazing fruit that we're growing here, and that we should be eating these fruit and not buying white sugar and other things. Here's more vetch. We've got some more vetch in here with Jerusalem artichokes and strawberry plants. There's a few strawberry plants in here that have got some fruit on them already. I don't know if I can find them. G-hairs are really good at finding them. But you can see strawberry plants. I don't want to walk on them either. I don't want to let you guys down. I want to find some fruit. Big ant nest here. Oh, here's some fruit here. Look, found one. Just coming out now. So really watch where we're walking in here. More Jerusalem artichoke. Great ground cover. Great pest resistant. I think this is the peach tree, this one. I think this is peaches. Oh, this is the peach tree. Now I know. She was talking about the peach tree and this is the peaches. We've got a peach tree. I've just discovered here on this video, we've got a peach tree. I didn't know what it looked like. This is the peach tree, guys. Mark my words, come back here when it's harvest season and ask me how the peaches are and if they're still peaches. So we got that one, we got one here. So these are peach trees. You didn't know that? No one told us that. There's another Queen Angelica tree shoot harvesting area that we've got. So we've got about 5 big ones in the property. And this is one of them. And another ginkgo biloba tree growing up here. And right next to our pond. And I was pleased to say that today we have got the lotuses shooting. So you can see all the dead lotuses here. There's no shoots here, but as we go up here, we've got some new shoots. We've got a new shoot here. You can see the tadpoles moving around in there. Look at them all. A couple of new shoots there, the lotus. One down here, I believe. Some good green stuff growing on top of that. And then we've got over here, we've got the chook house. Not our chooks, but it's our property. These will be going too, I guess, when these guys move out, unless they want to leave them for us, and then we'll train them to go around the yard and come back. He's got, what's he got at the moment in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chooks and a turkey. Yeah, I don't want to go in. Have a look in there. It's got quite a lot of fruit on it, so we don't do any of the synthetic pollination, or we don't get any of the pollen and throw it on there. We've just let the bees do it. It's just all natural, bees and wind. And at this time of the year is when other farmers are going around and thinning their fruit, I should say. So we got quite a few here. Probably come through and we could thin some of these, but like these fall off in the rain and the wind and whatever. So kind of this year we just want to observe it and see how we go without thinning, and then next year when we try other methods to get more fruit, we might have to do some thinning. But this, yeah, if this gets too heavy, we'll probably come through and thin. But you can already see these plums are really starting to get big. So for the last couple of weeks we've been working in here. This is our watermelon patch. They got a lot of rain last night. They're kind of looking a bit funny, but that's probably, these are non-propagated ones or non-grafted onto pumpkin. One died here, and then these 3 here have been propagated or grafted onto the pumpkin root stem. So these 3 are much healthier. And then the last one here is actually seeds, because we ran out, which is actually just like a rock melon or cantaloupe. And we put a couple of the leeks in here, the Korean Joseon leek, because that's also a good pest repellent, especially for watermelons and melons in general. And in here we've got one of these plum trees as well, one of the 100 plum trees. It's also not being looked after and a few disease. I'm planting some nasturtiums down here. I can't see them at the moment. on this side over here, we've put some potatoes recently. We're a bit late this year, obviously. We only got the property in mid-March, very early spring, when we should all been out here planting our stuff. But we got a few potatoes in here and they're starting to come up. You can see there's one here. One's trying to crack through here. Another one here, little one. Another one here. So let's go up, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you've been liking this content, if you want to see more of the orchard, some of the methods that we're going to be using, please make sure you like this video, give us a subscribe. Alright, so here's the house. You can see we got the camping car still, we got pallets. We actually went out to Dumyung. You can see here we got these compost bags. We went out to our land in Dumyung. It's like 2.5 hour trip out there. Picked up our bags, stayed there the night and come back the next day. There was about 30 bags or so, probably a bit less than that. We went out, picked up in a camping car and came back. Just because we hadn't, we didn't want to have to go back to Dumyung anymore, because we won't be using that land, even though we still hold the lease. In here I planted sugar cane. Can't see it at the moment. Gio's gone along the fence line and we planted some pumpkins, and I put some marigolds in. I put some nasturtiums in here. Nothing's come up that I told you about just now. We got forsythias. We just cut the branches off forsythias on the side of the road and we planted them in here, or we call them ganari in Korean. I can't see any of the sugar cane coming up. It's sugar cane seed that I grew last year in our land in Dumyung, so I'm not too sure if it's any good. And so that's coming up there, the forsythias anyway. Over here is our corn patch. So this corn is up. This is not a sweet corn, it's the sticky corn that's very popular in Korea. I liked it because this one's the multicolored corn, and G has got the 2-colored corn down here. But these have just come up. G is just going around and put a little bit of mulching in here this morning. And then I planted this lot here a little bit later, so this one will come up later. I mean, it also got pumpkin seeds planted on the side, so I don't think there's any corn come up through there yet. G has also put pumpkin in here just to cover the space. And a couple of plums on this little tree here we got here. What do we got here to show you? We got some blueberry. I bought this blueberry from the market, just repotted it. We've got some wood chips here. We bought our own little wood chipper, so we want to cover the palms around the place with wood chips. It's going to take a long time to do because it's only a small wood chipper, what we can afford at the moment. More Jerusalem artichokes. We got our 3 veggie gardens. These veggie gardens went in first when we moved here, because there was already an existing veggie garden here. It had that plastic mulching stuff on there. Look, this is asparagus. We've got an asparagus patch, and I have a habit of walking straight through here when I get my watering can. I go down here towards the apples. We got pumpkins planted down there, so my general habit is to walk straight through this. So I put the fence up so I don't walk through it. More Jerusalem artichoke right next to it. All under here, under the plum trees in our front yard, pretty much is all Jerusalem artichoke, all this area here. So at first we thought it was a bit of a pain and there's a lot of Jerusalem artichoke, but we've since learned that it's a natural pesticide and pest repellent. So we're definitely welcoming the amount of Jerusalem artichoke that we've got in our land, and it grows so well you don't have to water it. It holds the retention of the water for the other plants as well, which is fantastic. I'll just show you now the little veggie garden that we got going up here. So I bought some strawberries down from the mother-in-law's place that she picked up for us. A couple of strawberries in there. We've gone through and we've planted some herbs and arugula or rocket in here. We've got some more different chives and leeks. We've got, just coming up here, we've got capsicums. And I know what you'll be thinking, you got a lot of weeds there, Jimmy. But at the moment, we're learning that weeds are better. So we're not too worried about these weeds. Maybe every now and again we'll just chop off the Jerusalem artichoke tops. But other than that, we're not really too worried about it. And we're happy to see the weeds growing because it's a living mulch. It saves us having to mulch in between everything. At the end of this bed here, we got 4 potatoes. They're finally coming up. Gia's been busy this morning doing the mulch. And we planted something there, some really old bean seeds that we had from Australia like 10 years ago. so we don't have any hope in them. But last year we planted pumpkins from Australia that were 12 or 14 years old, and those seeds sprouted and we grew pumpkins and we ate those pumpkins. So never ever think that a seed is dead. Alright, and then up here we got our second bed here. We got beetroots in here, and we also got coriander in that one. We got beetroots here, we got carrots, we got mixed lettuce or salad mix, and then we got the red lettuce, don't know the variety, but it's here, and more flower seeds planted on the end if they ever come up. Here we also planted the old seeds that we had. We just mixed it all together. It was like basil and lemon balm. And here we planted new seeds of basil, and I think we've got a couple of tiny little seeds here just coming up. So these are actually the good seeds. There's a couple in here. I think this is a weed, but we'll just let that grow for now. It's not doing any harm. Here we also got peonies out here. They were blowing over in the wind, so we put the crate underneath them. We got all these buckets out here saving water for the rain. There's no rainwater system here, no tank system, so we have to come up with something for that. Here's our existing chook house that was here. Somebody else put this up a long time ago, and they were told that they're not allowed to breed any animals in this district, so they quickly moved out and probably found another property. But we have an existing chook house. Maybe some chooks might be a benefit to our orchard in the future. So at the moment we're not really too sure what we're going to be doing with that. Right, down here we got these are our tomatoes. So we got the big tomatoes in the back, we got the cherry tomatoes in the front, and then we got 3 cucumbers, going a little bit yellow, might need a bit of fertilizer or something on them. And then here's the other view of the Dulrib or the Korean Angelica tree at the back here on this side, and the persimmon tree, and the Chinese quince, and the Korean green plums. And then over here we got covered over here with the steel mesh on it, because hot sunny days these guys get really sad looking, so we put the shade cloth on. Today it's not a problem. These are peanuts. First time growing peanuts in my life. They are looking pretty good today. We've had 1 or 2 die off, but other than that they're doing really well. We got some mint here which we picked up from our land in Dunmountain as well. Brought that up here. Comfrey here starting to flower. And more comfrey. Here's some of our water saving systems. So there's no drains on this side, there's no water pipes, but the rain drips down here, and at the moment we've got probably, I think, water levels about here, just above 400, maybe about 500 litres. It almost looks like we've got a small leak in here. Yeah, I'll have to tell G about that. Won't be able to leave anything in here too long. Just noticed that today because it's never been that full. No video on my channel would be complete without seeing our 6 beautiful dogs. Let's go and have a look, see what they're up to. They're in the laundry at the moment because it's wet outside. See what they're up to. Knock knock, can we come in? Yep, stay there. Hey, kitty licks. Hey, Cyril Pumpkin. Where's Kangan? Kangan. Kangan's inside. What a naughty boy. Only Kangans allowed inside, right? Hello. Hey, Chook Mama. What a setup you guys have got in there. Look, you even got the wood chipper, washing machine, boiler. What a setup, guys. Doghouse. You guys are lucky. Whew. Here's how the rain drips out here. You can see we got these last night. These are just filling up like within 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Come out, put it in the tank, which is now to see if it's got a leak in it. But I was always going to order some new tanks. And then we got another one up here. And it was so windy last night that the container blew away down here and got a big crack in it, so now I've got a cracked container. Well, pretty much guys, that's it. That was a big walk around. I'll get this video edited, hopefully get it a lot shorter than how long it took me to walk around. But what do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments below what you think of our orchard and what you think of our plans, and I'd love you guys to come along. So if you haven't liked this video yet, that's the best way you can support me at the video. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and hopefully we'll see you back for the next one.